Hello, everyone. I am Adam with Demiplane. Thank you for joining me for this week's Dev Update and Community Q&A session. Those questions, those burning questions that you have, you can ask those at any point now because we have Demibot, newly christened Demibot, that is capturing those. And so Demibot is going to gather them together and I will be able to hit them all at the end of our show. So whatever I have time for, I answer most anything. So if you've got questions, I will give answers to every single thing that I can, and you can get those in right now. But otherwise, today we're going to talk our latest updates, and we're going to talk about bundles, and then we've got an update on this Vampire Nexus that is exciting. And then upcoming, the Pathfinder Nexus early access roadmap as we go through week in, week out. And today, very excited, we do have a very small character builder sneak peek for Pathfinder Nexus. So we're going to get to that a little bit later in the show as well. All right, let's move forward. Latest updates. Phase 2 of early access for Pathfinder Nexus currently in development. We do have bundles, and those are going to be coming soon. I know that we have, people have made emojis and all kinds of things of me saying soon out there, but this one really is going to be pretty soon. We're about to kind of enter our QA period on this. So we're going to be going and trying to break everything and make sure that adding bundles doesn't break everything else that we developed before it. So that process is going to be kicking off very soon. But bundles are on the way. And as we have talked about before, we are going to have a rule books bundle, a Lost Omens or settings bundle, and then we're going to have a standalone adventure bundle so you can pick up all those different types of content all at one time. And then, of course, we are going to have an ultimate bundle, which would unlock everything on Pathfinder. And these bundles, we'll share a little bit more details about them as they are coming, but those bundles will have discounts when you bundle that different content, and then they will also have forward-looking discounts on whatever type of content bundle they are. So if it's a rule books bundle that you've purchased, then you when a new rule book comes out and gets added to that bundle, you would be able to unlock that rule book with a discounted price because it is part of the forward looking piece of the bundle. So all of that is on its way. And then very importantly, if you are a fan of adventure paths, bundles is also required development to make those happen. And so as bundles are coming, then we are going to end up seeing that they will be able to be collected into kind of a smaller bundle, like a micro bundle that is the adventure path itself. And then we will have bundles that will have all the adventure paths in them. And then, of course, that will roll all the way up to the ultimate bundle. So bundles everywhere. And that is going to be, coming pretty soon. We'll provide updates as we have a more concrete picture of when the date those are going to be available is going to be. And then work in progress. We are deep into character engine work. And so this is data mapping, parsing game elements. We have actual development that is going on with the UI and the screens and everything that's happening there. We're going to have a little sneak peek of that a little bit later in the stream today. And then World of Darkness early access. So this is the first time this is hitting the latest updates screen here in the dev update because active work is very much going on at this point. We are working on Vampire the Masquerade content first. And then if it is not live yet, it is going to be live as soon as I get out of the stream because I think that was me that was supposed to make that live. And I am realizing as I'm saying it now that I neglected to do so before we started the stream. So there is going to be an update on the forums, just a little bit more information about the plan with Vampire Nexus, and that is going to be going live. So keep an eye out for that a little bit later today on the forums. And then I think that we are also, if you've signed up on the World of Darkness Nexus email list, you will also get an email about that a little bit later today that will point you to that update. So lots of activity going on there. We're getting very excited about Vampire Nexus being on its way. And I will say, gave a little bit of a preview last week of this, got some new preview content this week. I spent a good bit of the weekend doing some fun stuff with making some of this content, come to life. And I really love the way that, if anything was ever made for a dark mode, it might be this World of Darkness content. So we are trying that out as well. But it looks really, really great. It's going to be fantastic to be able to have this on your phone, tablet. All of that is really going to be something. And this is also a picture, because I think that the preview that I shared even last week for, let's say, that clans page there, that looked a little different than it does here today. And so this is a great example of just the iterative process that we use for development and getting this content together. And so, we jumped in here and we're doing something a little bit different there. So yeah, always pushing upward, onward. And yeah, we're working on this for sure. It is worthy of being on that latest updates screen now, because the team is working on making early access happen for World of Darkness. So more on that in the coming weeks, and we're really excited to see early access on its way for World of Darkness and Vampire the Masquerade. All right, upcoming. So on the Pathfinder Nexus early access roadmap, this is where I have retooled a couple of things here, just maybe for a little more clarity. So on adventure paths, you can see that under the digital reader, that those are the last bits of content that are going to catch us up to everything on Pathfinder. So I know that, let's say we're at the 10th of May now. I believe it is the 25th of May. We've got several, at least 2 books coming out on the 25th, and then we're going to see, no promises, but we'll see what's happening with that Abomination Vaults as well. I can tell you the thing that I will say is we're trying. We're going to try to get that one there, and we might not quite hit the mark, but that is coming on the 25th. And adventure paths are the part that we are still working on. As I said earlier, that is contingent on what's going on with bundles. So once those get in place, we're going to be able to start bringing those adventure paths online. And then on the game compendium, you can see, and we'll say that a white status right now is just something that we are not actively working on at the moment. So with everything else that we're working on with character management, we are not actively working on filling out some of the other tertiary elements into the game compendium, but those are things that are going to be coming. They are things that, believe it or not, for character management, we're going to have some of these captured in order for those to be inputs for character management. So in the process of getting character management in place, we are going to end up getting most of those covered, and then we'll be able to incorporate those as we're going along with character management. But yeah, the character management piece is definitely we're in knees and elbows right now with character management. And then don't forget, so last week was one of our after show episodes for On the Air Tape, but tonight we are resuming the normal campaign. We're coming back with a live play episode tonight at 6 p.m. Pacific, and there's some very nail-biting stuff going on. So the way that Deborah likes to put it is she likes to gently creep you out, and I think that so far in this campaign that we're playing in Children of Erte, she is hitting that mark very, very well, and so it's very exciting to play in. And thanks so much for all the viewers out there. But we are returning tonight, and check that out at 6 p.m. Pacific. All right, let's take a look at a couple of character builder screens. And so again, this is just a sneak peek. This is, heavily disclaimered with, hey, this is work in progress. It might not be, completely final, but this is what we are starting to jump into with the character builder. And you can, I'm going to let you kind of take that in for a second, and you can start, forming questions or whatever you might have. And if you have questions, feel free to ask those in chat, prefaced with the word question there. But ultimately, we're looking at a class select screen here. So as you might imagine, we have kind of this navigation hub on the left side that is going to follow us through the ABCs of character creation for Pathfinder. So it's ancestry, background, and class. But then also, we've got some special screens in here as well, depending on the context of what you're doing. And so, for instance, this is kind of a mock-up and test data. So not everything is going to be completely on board. But for instance, it's showing spells down there. That's not going to be applicable for barbarians unless I'm forgetting a. I mean, you could take an archetype, obviously, but but either way, with this, those are the different kinds of screens that you're going to be able to navigate to. You'll be able to select the information kind of in that middle area, and as you're selecting the middle area information, everything is going to then display with more context. So it's kind of like you're going, layer by layer, deeper and deeper. And then, of course, in that right area, you will also be able to still click on tooltips, for instance. And then as you click on tooltips or links, then there would also be a sidebar on the right that could slide out. So you can keep going deeper and deeper and deeper. One of the design philosophies that we talk about all the time, and it's something that I've been talking about for several years, is that the real goal of what we're trying to do with any kind of character management or interaction when it comes to digital tools for these games that we love so much is that we're always looking for the place where the threshold is between the information that you can see at a glance versus what is a click or two away. And so if you're getting more than 2 clicks away on something, then you're probably not in the right place, with what you're trying to do. But we're always going to be searching for the right place for that threshold between what is available for me to see at a glance and what is a click or 2 away for me. And so this entire framework and structure is intended to kind of get at that. And so you can see this is a class select screen. So again, pretty simple and straightforward screen. But this is how you're going to be able to lock that in for Pathfinder. And then we can go to the next screen here, which is a progression screen. And so this is progression is the place, in Pathfinder. I actually really love the way that you have ancestry, background, class, but then you also on the class have this concept that every single thing that your character will get is part of that class progression. So you can see that, when you get to the table that is describing all the class features and everything the class gets across all 20 levels, it shows you those by level, and it's going to call out. So I think it cuts down on confusion from some other games out there where you might forget to apply some of your heritage benefits or racial traits or whatever, because those are a separate thing. And so with this, we have put this into a progression area and window. And so as you're in the progression area, this is where you're going to be able to make selections. And of course, everything about a character builder is all about the choice. And so this is the really, really important thing. At the end of the day, character builders can help onboard people into the game and teach them about the game. So that's one of our goals here. But the primary goal, the thing that is happening that is the most impactful and important thing, is you are making choices that then create this character, for you that you're going to play. And so with these choices, it's very important for us to be able to highlight where you have choices, where you don't miss the places that you might have choices, and really just kind of guide you to the places where those choices need to be made. And then when you are there making that choice, making sure that you have all the information that you need in order to make those choices. If you're a veteran player and you don't need all that information, within the user interface, it should be pretty easy for you to simply just kind of, bam, 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 run through the choices, make those choices very quickly. And this will absolutely be a tool that will allow you to create a character and be up and running, especially if you are a veteran player. In 2 or 3 minutes, you would be able to have a character if you really wanted to press and push there. So it's going to be a really valuable tool. And this is kind of just again, tip of the iceberg that we're showing you here today. But we have start putting these screens together, and then the very, very big lift is all of the data that goes on behind the scenes. As you all know, Pathfinder has a great deal of what people will call crunchiness, and this is one of the things that Pathfinder fans really love about the game. And so we are doing all of that, kind of background, backstage effort with the data and with the framework of how the rules work together in the character engine that we're putting together for us to be able to bring that crunchiness to life in a very satisfying way. So there's a quick sneak peek at what's going on with the character builder. We will show off more of that as we go in the coming weeks, and we'll show a peek at the character sheet a little bit down the road as well. So keep an eye, ear, everything out for that, and we'll get to it when we can. All right, I think that is time for questions. So let's see if we have any of those. All right. If you have questions, feel free to ask those now. I see a few of them coming in here. Let me make sure I've got my screens set where I need them. All right, here we go. So, K Mouse, will there be an app in development? And so I am sure I know what you mean by this, but we do consider what we have out there today as an app, and everything that we're putting together is a web app. And our focus at this point in time has been for that web app to work really, really great on any kind of device. So you can pick this up on a phone in the browser. It's going to work really great for you. But I am going to assume that the question means a native mobile app. And at this point in time, we have suspended any development. We had started down the road a little bit to think through mobile, but we really have kind of paused everything right now because we want to make sure that we focus on this critical path of bringing all of this functionality to life. And once we get on the other end of that, we are going to make some decisions regarding what's going to go on with any type of mobile app that we might have in the future. But really stressing here that it is always going to be important for us that within the browser, every day that we're alive on this planet, web browsers are getting better and better and better. And so this is one of the things that we're really focused in on to make this a great experience on any kind of device. And if we get to a point where having a native mobile app is going to give the experience that we can't have in a browser, then that's definitely where we're going to consider that. But we think that what we are currently working with, the browser, we're making that browser sing, and so that's the focus for now. But we'll see where that goes in the future. All right, Dan Scath, will there be a digital subscription like a Paizo subscription? Could be nice for those outside the EU and the taxes. So we don't have anything to share right now regarding subscriptions. The thing that I can say is we have considered, and we have had very light conversation with Paizo about possibly incorporating into to some of what they have going on with subscriptions on the Paizo side. Naturally, that is a very different thing because it's talking about physical product and coming from their warehouses and all of that. But we certainly are always looking for ways to make things great for fans out there. And so I wouldn't say that's out of the question, but it's not something that we are ready to share any details about yet. All right, Anchor 89, NPC Builder soon after Character Builder is done. What a leading question in so many different ways. But the inclusion of soon is a nice touch there, I think. NPC Builder, creature builder, that kind of thing. It's something that we would love to do, but it's not anything that it's not on the short-term horizon. We are really, really focused on nailing characters, and we absolutely have ideas for what happens after that. What I can say is that what we will loosely call challenge management. So, the things that challenge the player characters, just kind of a general wide stroke of that is something that's absolutely, on the plate and on the roadmap, and something that, again, not the short-term horizon, but those are the things that we will start looking at kind of on the next, on deck status once we nail character management. All right, I see a few more questions coming in. If you have them, definitely get those in. Anchor 89 again, are you including work behind the scenes? Sorry. I won't get into my silly BTS story that me and my kids had a very funny moment the other day, but that's where my head went. It was like one of those Ratatouille moments of like, oh, Ratatouille, and go back. But it was just a week or so ago that I went back right then. But are you including any work behind the scenes for inventory management to be hooked into party loot? So party loot and group inventory management is probably what I will more specifically call that, is something that we have on the roadmap. It's something that we want to do, but it definitely falls into that category of next, like future phase kind of things. Again, we're really focused on making character managing your character really, really slick and the best that it can be. And then after that, we're going to be having our eyes out for any kind of way that we can make playing the game better. And I think that we all understand internally that having some way to manage an inventory across a group is one of those ways that we can make playing the game better. And so it would not surprise me at all if that's something that we get into. As far as the behind the scenes work, everything that we do comes with a conversation, a discussion, sometimes wrestling with, how, what the short-term versus long-term benefits are of something. And so when it comes to that, we absolutely have in mind what we want to do in the future with those things. And so you are right that there are many times now that we are putting code in place that will not see any kind of benefit until much later down the road. And so this would be one of those places where, as we are putting items together, we absolutely will think about it in a way of, how will this be, visible, shareable, tradable, etc., with a group at some point later on. But again, that's not in the first pass of what we are doing here, and it's something that's going to be down the road. All right, Anchor 89 again. Thanks for all the questions there. If you have any others, right now Demibot shows me that I have one more, and so after I finish that one, I'm going to go find some food. So you all get me like right before lunch because I'm in Central Time, and so this is right before lunch for me. So this is great. But if you have any other questions, ask them. Otherwise, I'm going to go, hit the food truck. Anchor 89, how's the progress on a Pathfinder 2e live play? So the progress is I shared this update a few weeks ago, and nothing has changed with the update. Right now, we've got the great Talon and Claw. Let's see, what is the subtitle? I always forget the subtitle because it was a fun one. But anyway, the Talon and Claw show that's going to be facilitated by the excellent Mark Meir. And we have an incredible cast that's coming together for that. Due to COVID concerns, we have delayed that. And the cast has now set a new target date for filming that. And I believe it is the middle of July. So it's mid-July. And as that is filmed, filming is not the same as it coming out. And so once we film that, then we will make some decisions on exactly when that will hit the air. But we are planning for a 6-episode initial series of that. And really can't wait to see that cast play. I think it's going to, based on everything I'm seeing, I think it's going to be just one of the best, Pathfinder bits of content that's going to be out there when that comes together. So really excited about it. But it is going to be, no matter what, it's going to be post July. But we're not exactly sure, where it's going to fall after that filming gets completed. And that is assuming that nothing else happens to delay that with what's going on with the ongoing pandemic challenges. So right now that's the target. We will give more updates on that as soon as we have them. Risa Malima, what's your favorite way to say soon? Most of the time, I just say the word soon and smirk, or if I don't smirk, it is like an internal smirk, because I understand fully that soon word is so loaded and so subjective. And most of the time, especially in software development over the years, come to learn that when people say soon, it is typically meaning that they think next week is soon. And so most of the time soon, typically when I say soon, it means that we are close enough that we can start working in units of weeks, or couple of months, instead of working in months or a year. So that's typically when you hear me say soon, that is normally the unit of measure that's going on in my mind. But yeah, I sometimes I will, just to try to say another word other than soon, will absolutely say pending, incoming, upcoming, those kind of things, just to try to throw some thesaurus in there. All right, Anchor 89. When do we get to see the Pathfinder 2e campaign in an underground civilization of lizard folks with domesticated dinosaurs? That is an excellent question. And, most of the time when people, someone in my family, one of my sons come to me and say, hey, when are we going to, and insert thing here. And then I say, well, it sounds like you just volunteered for that. So, maybe I'll use that here. So Anchor 89, the only way that we can guarantee that that's going to happen is if you do it. So it sounds like a great idea. Try to make that happen out there. It is absolutely something that would be down my alley as a dinophile. So it sounds like a lot of fun. All right, and then lastly, Anchor 89, again, we love you and the team. Keep up the great work. Thanks so much. Really, really appreciate that. Especially right now, we're kind of in a little bit of a tunnel with a ton of work going on, but the team is doing incredibly well with it and is really moving, so rapidly and making some great stuff. So it's very encouraging to hear that from you and, other players and fans out there. So thanks so much for that. I hope all of you have a wonderful week, and we will see you here next week. Later, Gators.